Hey guys, welcome back to Baddie and a Book. My name is Gabby and today we have a book haul and a special guest, my Nico boy. Hi. Because he's been following me around everywhere today and I just can't get rid of him, so. Thank you, appreciate it. I don't have any food. I don't know why you're looking at my hand. I don't have any food. It's kind of gross. Anyways, so we're gonna jump right into the book haul. First and foremost, I'm just gonna run through these 4 books, the first 4 books, because I bought these for another video and they will be shown on that other video and talked about more in detail. But I got 4 books from the Romance Reveal book box, and so that's what these 4 books are. This is Road to Fire by Maria Louise. This is Fearless Enough by Kelly Elliott, Dimitri by Kayla Riley, and then Revenge Era by Brittany Nicole. Then this haul has quite a few Willow Winters books in it, so we're going to jump into the first 2. And mind you, a lot of these books are cover buys or popular buys, so I didn't really look too far into the synopsis. These are a lot of books that I have no idea what they're about. I just am trusting the recommendations that are given to me on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So it's not going to be a whole lot of descriptions of the books in this particular haul because all of these were book recs. Then we have All Hail Ever Be by Willow Winters. This one is like a Beauty and the Beast retelling or a Beauty and the Beast inspired book. I believe she has another book that's currently set to release that is more of a retelling, but this one is super popular all over TikTok, and I love watching Willow Winters book packing videos or box packing videos where she does the mystery book boxes and she packs them, and this one is featured very often in those books or in those videos. And then I also picked up Not My Heart to Break by Willow Winters. This is like a Son of Anarchy inspired is what she describes it as. So I had to go ahead and pick this one up as well because I love Sons of Anarchy. The next book, I think I'm missing one, but I'm a little confused by the order because I think that the one that I'm missing is the prequel to this book or this series. But it is the Royal Elite series by Rina. These are books 1 through 6, I believe. This is book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, 5, and book 7. Oh, I'm missing book 6. So I'm missing book 6, and then there's also a prequel. But when I look at the reading order on Amazon, the prequel one is not listed in here. So I'm a little confused about that. I'm going to do some more research before I actually read these books. But I'm super excited to have these on my shelf. And honestly, really the reason why I purchased these is because I started to pick up these books. So this is God of Malice, God of Pain, and God of Ruin. This is the Legacy of God series, and apparently this first series is the parents' books to these. And I know that a lot of people have said in the recommendation videos that we can't just jump right into these books, but I've looked at some videos where there are really like Rina Kent stans, and they recommend reading that series first before reading this one. I don't like to risk missing any small details that could take away from these stories by not reading the first series. So I have books, I think this is 1, 2, and 4, and then I'm missing the 3rd and the last book in this series. My viewfinder battery died, so we're just gonna have to wing it, and I hope that this is in frame and I don't have to refilm it. The next couple of books that I got were from, I actually bought these secondhand and they came in pristine condition, but I found this author on TikTok and on her TikTok shop. So I always like to check Pango Books and Mercari to see if anyone is selling the books before I purchase through the author in circumstances when I don't know if I'm going to love the books and I want to save a little bit of money, or if in general I just want to save a little bit of money. So I got I think these are 2 different series. The first one, this one is the Sons of Erebus series, and this is Rigger's Mistake and Lucky's Trouble. Both of these two books, this is actually covers that I like. I know typically I don't like people on the covers of books, but this was done right. I really am vibing with these, and I really like the way that these were executed. So normally I don't like people on the covers, but I really like these. This one is the Royal Bastards Motorcycle Club. I only opted for 3 out of the, I think there's 5 in the series. One, because these were the only 3 that were available secondhand. I got these off of Pango Books. I got all of these off of Pango Books, and the person selling them only had these 3. Maybe I'll go back in and try to purchase the other ones, but these were the 3 that actually stood out to me the most. More so Bexley's Biker. This one stood out to me the absolute most, and then I kind of was a little bit interested in Birdie's Biker and also Truly's Biker. I love me a Motorcycle Club book series. Really excited to have these on my shelf and excited to see what I think about these, because I've never read anything by Misty Walker before, so this will be a first for me. Then adding to my Mary Monroe, I have like 4 of her books as at this point in these covers, and this one is The Upper Room by Mary Monroe. I love these covers, and so anytime I see these on like Mercari or Pinga Books, I try to pick them up because I know that she's changing covers, and I don't know, just nothing really compares to these covers. They're so different, they're so unique, and I love the illustrations and the covers, so I added that. And then these 2 books I actually purchased from my local Dollar Tree, and if you guys follow me on TikTok or Instagram, sorry. If you guys follow me on Instagram or TikTok, y'all know that I love to go to the Dollar Tree to see what kind of books that they have and to pick them up. And so I got 2. First and foremost, I have Postscript by Cecilia Ahern. I'm not sure what this one is about, and I didn't look at the synopsis because I believe that this is the second book to P.S. I Love You, which I do own already in paperback. So I was like, I have to go ahead and pick this one up. And then I was really fucking excited and shocked to see this book in a Dollar Tree, and that is You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I have 2 other books by her. I have The White Between Us, and then there's another one. It's got a red cover. I have that one too. So to see this one at a dollar store, really exciting. Then let's do this pile. Okay, so then I have some indie authors here. So I believe this is an indie author too, but anyways, so I picked up quite a few indie authors, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through those first. There's still more in this pile, but these are just the ones that are immediately available to me. So the first one is Keep You to Myself by Brianne Denée. The second book in this one has come out already, so I want to pick up the second one as soon as possible, but I picked up this one in the meantime while I was waiting for the release of that one, and everyone has had such good things to say about this one, so I'm excited to get to this one. And then I also, another author that I found on TikTok, and this one is by Isla Cox. This is the Just a Taste series or duology. I'm not sure if she's gonna add more books to this collection, but this is Tempted and Addicted, a spicy romance series, and I'm really excited to get into this one as well. And then we have 2 from Peyton Banks. I actually ordered the Trust and Honor series directly from her, and she added this one in as a freebie. So one is a police officer, and then the other one is a firefighter. So I thought that that was going to be so cool. And the one thing I really love about this book is that the actual hardcover itself is the same as the dust jacket, and I wish more books were printed, and I'm thinking we're kind of moving in this direction where more and more books are going without the dust jacket, with the exception of like special editions and stuff. So but yeah, I really love this. I wanted to support an indie author, so I went ahead and picked that one up. Auto buy for me. Anytime it's an indie author, it's almost always an auto buy for me. And then these, I'm not sure if this is an indie author. I think it is, because I've never heard of this author before. So the first book is called Commitment by Nia Forrester, and then the second book is another one by her, and it's called The Lover. These 2 are romance novels, of course, and somebody, I think on YouTube, recommended these. I want to say it was like Shaughnessy, if I'm thinking correctly. I think it was her that recommended these 2, but needless to say, I grabbed The Commitment, which was the first one on my list, and then I saw that there was another one by her on Amazon, so I went ahead and picked that one up as well. These next two books were recommendations from Shaughnessy. I don't think they were in like a rec video. I think they were in one of her haul videos. And so I went ahead and picked up the first two books in the series. It's called the Seaside Mergers series. The first book is Terms and Inheritance, and then the second book is Rules of Association. This was the book that Shaughnessy had hauled in one of her videos, and so I saw that there were two books in the series and I wanted to pick up both of them. This one is an indie author, so I'm really excited to have those two. And then I also picked up another Brittany Cherry book. Alex and Shaughnessy have actually both mentioned this book, and then I've seen nothing but great things about this book, so I decided to add this one to my Brittany Cherry author list, because I have a few others in this haul as well from Brittany Cherry. And then this is actually a blind buy for me, but Mercari, they have a lot of people that are selling author bundles on there, and this was one of them. This author is Kimberly Hatch, and this bundle came with all 5 books, or all 5 of these books, and I want to say it was like $15. So these weren't necessarily a recommendation, but because they were so cheap, and it was an author that I had never heard of, and it's a bundle, so that gives it a plus, because anytime I find a new author, I try to get at least more than one of her books or his books, so that I can, when I get ready to read them, have multiple options of where to start. So this one has Broken. And then I believe that this one is a series, so these next 4 are part of a series. So this one is called A New Forever, Forever Changed, Finding Forever, and Chasing Forever. I'm not sure what the actual reading order of these are, but I'm excited to find out. And again, it's a new author for me. Now, the next 2 books I actually bought on a whim as well, only because of them being bundled together, and also them being so cheap. They were like $15 for the both of these. These books are the first 2 books in the Crescent City series. Again, both of these 2 were $15. They are not the same size. I think one is like a UK edition and then the other one is the US edition. But regardless, $15, and I did not want to pay for these books full price, and I figured that these would be fun to add to my fantasy collection. I've said before in other book hauls, but when it comes to fantasy, as far as dipping my toes in it and trying it, when I eventually do that, I want to make sure that I am getting books that have the best fantasy authors, the ones that I raved about. I think that this one is more of an advanced series in comparison to some of the other books that I've hauled before, but I'm happy to have this at my fingertips when I'm ready to get into it and to dive into that world, because this is a book series that I've heard so many people recommend and so many people rave about. Now, the next 3 books are also by Willow Winters. So the first one is Knocking Boots. This one actually came in I don't remember exactly what Willow Winters book I purchased, but I did purchase a Willow Winters book from somebody off of, it was either Mercari or Pango Books, and I ordered the one book, and the seller just automatically added this one into my box, and so I was happy to get it. Like, I was like, wow, this is awesome. I already have this book in the discreet edition, but I figured if I wanted to take you know, this book out of my house and not care if it gets a little damaged or whatever, I can read this one, and then I also would be able to put this in a little library once I'm finished reading it. And then the other 2 books, one of these books I got from Mercari, and I think the other one I got from Amazon, but I got it under like I bought it under like the thrifting option. So of course, when you go and purchase a book, it gives you like the full price of a brand new one, and then right under it gives you like the used book option. And so I think I paid like, I want to say like $15 for this book, no more than $15. So I got the You Are My Reason duet, and then I got the You Know I Love You duet, and both of these have been on my radar for a very, very long time. Both of these 2 books have 2 books in them, and I love these editions over the original cover editions, and these were bought secondhand and regardless cheaper than buying the books individually. Now, these next books I am so excited about. This is a full series, at least all of the books that have come out so far, and this is recommended everywhere. Yes, I already own these books in a different edition, but those editions have since been discontinued, and so because of that, I had to buy the new editions, and these will be the ones I actually read. The older editions and the limited editions that I have will just, I'll try to keep their condition as pristine as possible. But it is the Boys of Tommen series, books 1 through 5. And of course, book 5 does not come out in the editions that I currently have. So I have Binding 13, Keeping 13, Saving 6, Redeeming 6, and Taming 7. I'm so excited to get to these eventually. And I'm so excited to finally start these. These have been recommended so many times. There is not a recommendation video that I see that does not include at least one of these books. So I'm excited to have these on my shelf and have the newer editions, and also have the ombre spines, because I know that those were a limited edition for the first prints and the first go of these prints. So I'm really excited for that. Then I picked up Never by Jessa Hastings. This is the same author that wrote the Magnolia Parks series, and although this book is not as pushed as the Magnolia Park series, there was also a little bit of controversy around this book, and I'm pretty sure I have the copy before they edited that controversial piece out of it. But regardless, this is a Peter Pan retelling, and I love Jessa Hastings' writing, so I thought that this would be a great one to add to my collection, and now I have all of the books that she's written. The next book that I got, so this book, what inspired this book was the fact that I've been watching Stranger Things, and when I found out that Millie Bobby Brown had her own book and wrote her own book, I don't think she wrote it. Somebody ghost wrote it for her. But I think like the concepts and the ideas about the book was all hers. And then, who is the author? Who is the actual author? Kathleen McGurl is the actual ghostwriter, but Millie Bobby Brown was the one, I guess, that came up with the concept. And it's called 19 Steps. First of all, this cover is beautiful. Second of all, I was intrigued by it simply because I've been watching Stranger Things and I love the show. Silly reason to pick up a book, but I had to have it. Like, girl math says I had to have it. The next book that I picked up was another thrift purchase. I purchased it online. I can't remember exactly where, but I got Lilac by B.B. Reed. I don't own anything by her, so I thought that this would be an interesting add to my shelf. And then this one was another kind of like thrift find. This one I got from, I want to say it was Mercari. And y'all, I paid like $8 for this book. And it's brand new. It's brand fucking new. Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. And this is like a special edition. I'm not sure, and I don't remember what book box this came from, but the fact that it was only $8, I had to get it. Then we have another indie author here. This one actually was sent to me by the publishing company or by the PR company. And this one is called The Bottom Line by Toby Carter. This one really advocates for men's mental health, and it does have that that conversation in this book, and it's heavily like intertwined in the story of this book. And then I also got the Rule of the Game series. I think this is book 1 and book 2. So it's Offside and Shutout, and I love these covers. Absolutely love these covers. It's a hockey romance, and all I can see is on the second book there's tattoos, and this one's a thickie, an absolute thickie. Down to the last 2 piles. The next book series is also a hockey romance. This is Consider Me, Unravel Me, and Play With Me. But I got these off of Blackwell's, and I'm going to be ordering the 4th book when it comes out in August. Off of it, I actually already pre-ordered it. But I'm really happy that I got these in this edition. These editions are so pretty, and so much prettier than just the generic blue cover that they have. The blue cover is pretty too, but I like these ones a little bit better. They're a little bit more artistic. Then we have a fantasy recommendation that has been all over TikTok. I got it also from Blackwell's. It was much cheaper on Blackwell's, so that kind of justified me purchasing it because it's a fantasy book. I'm not sure if I'm going to love it, so if I can find fantasy books for the cheap, then I'm gonna pick them up just so I can have them readily available. So this one is called Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and if you know, you know, you've heard about it. Everyone's talked about it. I'm probably like the last person on earth to read this book because I have not read it yet, but it's definitely on my TBR. And then the next one is an indie author, not a popular recommendation, but one that was recommended on TikTok. And I had come across and stumbled across this author's page, and a lot of her videos started circulating on my TikTok. So over time, I was like, you know what, let me just purchase it. It seems pretty good. So this one is called Sunken City and the Fallen Witch. And this one is by Emma V.R. Noyes. And I believe this one, if I remember correctly, this one was described as a Little Mermaid meets the Pirates of the Caribbean, if I'm not mistaken. And that was kind of like the pitch line that was like, you know what? It's YA and it has those two components in it. I feel like I'm gonna like this. And the covers alone on this one is what made me buy it. 100%. 100%. There's also a third book in the series, but I wanted to buy the first two, kind of figure out if I'm gonna love these or not, and then if I feel intrigued, I'll buy the third book. And the next book that I picked up is called Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Apparently this whole series is going to be like a single dads, where all the heroes in these books are going to be single dads. And the next one is actually already announced to be released, which is so fucking crazy to me. Regardless, I went ahead and picked this one up. I already have the other series that she has released, and so I want to eventually collect all of her books, and it is digitally signed. It's not actually signed, but it's digitally signed. The next two books that I picked up is to finish a series that I already own the first book of, and that is the Dreamland Billionaire series. I already had the first book. I actually bought this one and this next one off of Pango Books, and I paid like $15 for all three of these. So I was so fucking excited about that. But I already have the first book, and because it was so cheap and it was a bundle deal for all three of these from Pango Books, I just had to go ahead and pick them up. These are recommended everywhere. I think I'm the last person to read the Dreamland Billionaire series. And then Where Love Redesigns, this one just actually came out, so I may not be the last person. It's very possible still though, because y'all be reading these books extra fucking fast. But yeah, I was so excited to be able to get those from Pango Books for only $15. The next two books, it's a YA mystery series, or duology I should say, and this is by Nenny May. This is The Return and The Rebel. Let's have a round of applause for the covers. But I saw this book on TikTok Shop, or not on TikTok Shop, I'm sorry. I saw this book on TikTok, and I saw this author's book kind of like, I saw this author's content kind of circulating my TikTok, and when I saw that, anytime I see an indie author, auto buy. So I had to auto buy these. So yeah, those are all of the books that I got this go around. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.